In the book of Exodus, you've got this incredible standoff between a king who thinks he's a god and a god who's about to prove him wrong. And we're at a real breaking point. 7 plagues have already ripped through Egypt, and the nation is on its knees. But believe me, this is far from over. Today we're diving into the next 2 acts of this divine power play. A plague that will literally eat a kingdom alive, and then a darkness so complete you can actually feel it.
You know, before we even get to the next plague, the text lays out the whole point of this massive confrontation. This isn't just about freeing a group of people. It's about a demonstration of power so undeniable, so absolute, that the story will be told for generations. The whole theme is about knowing, making sure that everyone, from Pharaoh right down to his grandchildren, knows exactly who is really in charge.
All right, so let's set the scene. Egypt is already reeling. Think about it. They've been through a river of blood, frogs, lice, swarms of flies. Their livestock have died, they've been covered in boils, and then a storm of hail and fire. You'd think that would be enough, right? But Pharaoh's heart is still hard. So Moses and Aaron are sent right back into the lion's den to deliver one more warning. Okay, we have to talk about the engine that drives this entire story, Pharaoh's hardened heart. It's such a key concept. With every single plague, we see this moment where he seems to give in. You know, a little glimmer of hope. But the second the danger passes, his defiance comes roaring back. Even stronger than before. Is it just pure human stubbornness, or is it something more? The text is interesting on this. This cycle of refusal is really the core of the whole conflict.
And here it is, the ultimatum from Moses. The language here is so important. It's not just let my people go. It's a demand for Pharaoh to humble himself. The whole conflict is framed as this cosmic battle of wills. The choice is simple. Give in or face a plague that's going to devour what little is left of your entire kingdom. Now this is a huge deal. For the first time, we see a major crack in Pharaoh's authority. His own officials, his inner circle, they're turning on him. They see what's happening on the ground. Egypt is destroyed. And they're basically asking him, how long are you going to let this guy Moses ruin us all? The pressure is now coming from inside the palace walls. So feeling the heat, Pharaoh tries to negotiate. He offers a compromise. He says, okay, the men can go and worship, but the women, the children, the livestock, they all have to stay here. It's a clever move, right? A way to make sure they come back. But Moses' response is absolute. It's everyone and everything, or it's no one and nothing. The negotiation completely falls apart, and Moses and Aaron are literally thrown out of Pharaoh's presence.
Well, with diplomacy totally shattered, the time for talking is over. Moses stretches his hand out over Egypt, and an east wind starts to blow. And it's carrying the consequence of Pharaoh's pride. The 8th plague is about to hit.
You have to try and picture the scale of what happens next. It's almost unimaginable. This isn't just a few bugs. The Bible describes a living cloud of locusts so thick it literally blocks out the sun, making the land dark. They eat everything. Every leaf, every blade of grass, any fruit that was somehow left after the hail. It's the total, systematic consumption of an entire nation's food supply.
Faced with the absolute ruin of his kingdom, Pharaoh panics. He scrambles to get Moses and Aaron back, he confesses his sin, and he begs them to pray for an end to what he calls this death. It's a powerful moment. His pride is completely gone, and for a second, he sounds totally broken.
And then a powerful wind comes and blows every last locust into the Red Sea. The crisis is over. And just like clockwork, the pattern repeats. The moment the pressure is off, Pharaoh's resolve snaps right back into place. That brief moment of humility vanishes, and once again, he refuses to let the people go.
This time, there's no negotiation, there's no warning. God just tells Moses to stretch out his hand toward the sky, and one of the most psychologically terrifying plagues you can imagine just descends on Egypt.
Now, this isn't just a really dark night. The text specifically calls it a darkness that may be felt. Can you imagine that? A thick, oppressive, suffocating blackness that smothers everything for 3 full days. It's a plague you experience with your senses, and it completely paralyzes the entire country.
And here's where the divine precision is just wow. While all the Egyptians are trapped, literally frozen in place by this tangible darkness, the Israelites have light in their homes. The separation couldn't be more stark, more miraculous. There's absolutely no way to mistake where this plague is coming from or who is being protected from it.
So this paralyzing darkness finally forces Pharaoh's hand. He summons Moses for one last negotiation, and you can just feel the tension in this scene. This is it. This is the final showdown between these two men.
Pharaoh makes his biggest concession so far. He finally agrees that everyone can go, the men, the women, the children. But he has one last demand, the livestock. All the flocks and herds, they have to stay. It's his last little piece of leverage, his final attempt to have some control over the situation. But Moses' refusal is just so absolute, so poetic. Not a hoof. He says they need the animals for sacrifices, and they won't even know which ones they need until they get there. The message is clear. There is no more compromise. Every last animal is going with them.
And that's it. That's the breaking point. Pharaoh snaps. All that stubborn pride just boils over into a murderous rage. He banishes Moses forever and issues a death threat. If you ever show your face in front of me again, I will have you executed. This is the point of no return.
But Moses' reply is chilling because it's so calm. He simply agrees, "You have spoken well." He accepts Pharaoh's terms, basically turning the king's own threat into a final proclamation. The door for any kind of diplomacy, negotiation, or warning has just been slammed shut, locked and bolted for good.
And that's where the chapter leaves us, right on the edge of a cliff. The lines have been drawn. The final threat has been made. All communication is over. Pharaoh has made his last stand. And so we're left with this chilling question. When all the words have been said and all the warnings have been given, what comes next?